sound investments, inshallah, and enrich ourselves. We can develop pieces of land. If 30 or 40 brothers come together and each one has $50,000 they're going to put in a down payment and start developing a piece of property and get approvals on it and start building houses, the value of the land that they bought that is not, built on yet, it will go through the roof. There's a million ways to help together. The key word is together. The key word is jama'ah. That's what we miss in the Muslim community. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. This question is for like a young people, those are people going to schools and universities. And on the other hand, I know the Quran has a solution for everything, for past, future, and present.
Alhamdulillah.
When they go to university, they have two choices. One, they get a scholarship, or the other one is they get loan. I'm not talking about financial aid. To get a financial aid, So these two choices, if they cannot get a scholarship, so how they going to go for education?
All right. The technical way to look at it is a different way, but you'll understand why. Two examples. I buy a Camry, brand new Camry from Toyota Motor Company. And Toyota Motor Company tells me, you're not going to pay me in cash, so, we need to pay in payments, or 5 years will charge you 6%. And the car is, let's say, $22,000. Another scenario that I go to a used car dealer, there's a car for $22,000, also Toyota, whatever, another model, whatever. And the guy tells me, I'll finance it for you, and you'll pay 6%, because you cannot pay me in cash. What he would do is go to a bank, get a loan, pay the car off, get his money, and then you pay the bank the 6%. It's the same amount of payment, same amount of money, and it's a car purchase. One of the transactions is absolutely halal, the other one is absolutely haram. In Islam, Toyota Motor Company bought raw materials, took risk, hired people, manufactured something in the economy, took a risk that product would never be sold, and now when there's a time to reap the profit of their work and the economic activity they provided in society, I cannot pay more. So they have the right to add to the price or change to the price to compensate for the time I'm going to not pay him back. Here it's a matter of pricing. That 6% is a matter of pricing. If I accepted that total price of it, that is halal because I'm buying from the seller, the manufacturer. And there's no middle people in between. When I go to the used car dealership, the guy in the bank just has money. Money does not have intrinsic value in Islam. It's just a way to exchange goods and services. It does not have value in itself. He did not provide any economic activity. He did not take any risk because the car is a collateral and charge of money while sitting down. That is haram. So when we go to the college example here, if it's a subsidy from the government to facilitate the product that college is selling, then that could be factored as if it is the college selling the product that they have, and because I'm not paying upfront, then they're going to charge me interest more. If it is a student loan where I go to Citibank, hey, I'm a student, give me money so I can go pay my tuition, so there's a middleman in there, and it's not the college or through the college facilitating that subsidy from the government or from their own money, then that is haram. And then we have to be careful here, inshallah. Easier way is to beat up your children well so they can have A pluses all the time. So inshallah, that's scholarship.
Could you explain it a little bit better? Like, you saying, like, if the government gives you, is halal?
No, I'm not saying that if the government gives you. The subsidies that the government gives through colleges to facilitate kids' tuitions. It has interest. But if you look at it as a product, the product is education, that the college is providing. And that interest is a matter of the pricing of that product to you. And you're taking it directly from the college. And the college is getting the money from the government to facilitate their own product, then that is halal. That is allowed, inshallah. But if you go to a bank on the side that has nothing to do with the college itself, totally independent, say I'm a student, give me a student loan, the bank would give it to you in a heartbeat because the way the laws in this country is that you can file bankruptcy for any loan except student loan. Bankruptcy would not wipe it. So banks will give you that in a second. That is haram. You went to a middleman in between, you're not getting the loan through the college itself, or it's the college's money. That's the point, inshallah.
Sheikh, when that applies, the college loans, does that same rules apply like a mortgage? Loan?
No, this is what I told you. If the mortgage companies that they say they're Sharia compliant took the money for their own selves, then they committed haram. But the pool of their own money that they borrowed, they're going to make mortgage from it, then that's halal for me because I didn't borrow. But what they do is that they take your application and borrow with it. They're just middlemen. They're just middlemen to facilitate the riba between you and the Wall Street guys. Totally different.
So what would be the solution here? I mean, in case we get into this loans with the colleges, then
Inshallah, if it's directly through college, then inshallah it's allowed.
if it's not.
If it's a bank that has nothing to do with the college or it's not through the college, then it's
But even though if they're calling this as interest, it's still haram?
the interest here is a matter of pricing. Islam allowed this. This is bay'ah. Because halal in Islam in a transaction is in the taradi and adam al-ghaban. Meaning that it's that I'm satisfied with it, and you're satisfied with it, I'm the buyer and you're the seller, we're both satisfied, and there's full disclosure. It didn't cheat me, the product does not have a problem, anything like that, then if I agree, then it's halal. So a product that sells for $10 outside, and me and you agreed that I buy it from you for $15, and you give me full disclosure, and I'm aware that it sells for $10, and I agree, absolutely halal. It's a matter of pricing.
So you can apply the same rule to the mortgage as well, saying that, I agreed to buy this house.
No, but I just told the brother, it's not their money.
No, I'm not talking about Islamic mortgage. I'm talking about just regular mortgage.
Yes, but,
So you said instead of going to Islamic financing, you can go directly to Fannie Mae.
No. Brother, you just hurt me by saying that.
Can you buy their house from the developer?
If the developer is giving you the terms and the financing, yes. If he brings a bank in between to pay him off, then that's wrong. The middleman that comes in with the money, if you buy from the seller, the owner, then it's halal. I'll give you an example. A lot of foreclosures happen. What does that mean, foreclosure? Somebody could not pay the house, the bank will lend them the mortgage, took the house back. Who owns the house now? The bank. The bank is the owner. If I go to that bank and they give me a traditional 30-year mortgage with 6% interest, and I'm buying it directly from them, that's halal. Because they're selling me the product that they took a risk in and they have it in their inventory.
What if the developer says that this is my product cost $100,000, $98,000,
Yes.
and within this period, whatever it is, $2,000 of the interest, I will have to pay to borrow $10,000 from the bank to replenish my capital. In that case, the $2,000 is disclosing.
Yes.
$2,000 I am borrowing from X.
But who owns it? Him or the bank? He owns it.
House he owns it.
He owns the house. So the one who owns the house is the one selling to you. How he facilitates, how he runs his business, that's his haram and halal, totally separate from you. I bought from the seller who owns it. There's no middleman in between. And he's giving me the terms according to whatever mechanism of his business, that's halal.
So in this context, in this concept, if he even doesn't say that $2,000 is my interest component.
If I agree that, you know what, it's your house, you own it, and I'm buying it for you, and the payment is that is halal. That is bad. That is
So
not
we
bad.
should buy from the developer.
Inshallah.
Teach them much money that I invest in different percentage. So can you please tell?
The 401k is a problem, and my advice to people, first of all, the biggest problem with it is that they don't give you freedom into choosing what to invest in. Usually they want you to own the company's money, the company's stock, and they put certain mutual funds, and most mutual funds, they deal in riba. You don't know what they're buying or what's
So
selling.
you can choose your own one.
Not all of them, not all of them. Some, but that some is very few. So again, it's haram to dump the whole thing. So my advice is that just pay what they're matched. So some people pay more than the company pays. No, just pay. If they pay $1, they match. If they match you with $1, and the maximum they would match you is $1, just put that dollar that they are willing to match you. And then look at it, inshallah, and stay away from income funds. Income funds are all bonds and riba. Try to be in technology and growth technology funds, not income technology funds. These are the least susceptible to interest and investments funds. And over the long term, inshallah, they will do more.
Can you go to the dividend earning funds only?
No, the dividends is halal. dividend, if it's a business is halal. So let's say Microsoft paid a dividend the other day, that's halal. Microsoft is a halal business.
What I did, I asked them that this fund, does it have any bond income or anything else? They said no. I said all these are dividend incomes. They said yes. So
No, when you say income funds, guaranteed they're bonds and
no,
bonds.
I
There's riba.
mentioned dividend.
If they said dividend only, then the question becomes dividends of which companies? Because Time Warner, with cable entertainment, or maybe Citibank pays a dividend or whatever, where do you own income? Most of the time, you're going to have riba exposure. Your best bet is growth technology funds.
What about Amana funds?
Amana funds, they're Sharia compliant. I didn't study it all, but from what I heard so far, alhamdulillah, they're not. Yes, bro.
In 401k, right, the categories mostly they have is multi-cap funds. I mean, I've not seen the growth funds category, so is that like...
No, most of the brothers who showed me the 401k to advise them on, there is a growth component of technology fund. The word balance, you want to stay away. Balance means that some component of income and some component of growth. Whenever you see income, that's riba, most of the time. Inshallah, we're going to need to end it, inshallah, so...
Yeah, do you brothers want to continue, or it's like...
Let's have a time limit. Let's have a time limit. Now that minutes are short.
No, I'm inshallah.
maybe 15 more minutes.
Which organization
And then we will finish at 9:45.
you like تفضلها نحن
No one is perfect. Each case depends on whatever.
just say somebody really need wanna buy a house or something.
يعني انت تدور على حاجه يعني في حاجه فيها مؤاجره. You're gonna find someone. I heard about someone is مؤاجره. And inshallah, bring it to me. I'll look for it, inshallah. And if it's good, I'm the first one to endorse it.
Brother, can you repeat the question when you say question?
I'll repeat it. Yes.
You said that if a house is on foreclosure, and since banks own that house,
Yes.
so we can buy using the mortgage at that.
You can buy from the same bank directly. If it's a house that is owned by the bank itself.
Okay, so
And even if they charge you interest, then that's a matter of pricing because that's the product of the bank. There's no middleman.
this means that if any house is on foreclosure and bank owns it, I can.
Some people call the big banks and tell them, show me your portfolio of foreclosures. And they would tell you, you know what, in this town we have this, and then you go around, and if you see someone, then you apply, buy from them. It's a good price. I think the government up to a certain time would give you even, I think, $7,000 to fix it or something like that. And even if they charge you interest, it's halal because they own it. There's no middleman.
How about Sharia compliant stocks investing in?
If the business is halal, if it's truly Sharia compliant, then it's halal.
Like Dow Jones, they sell their own stocks with Sharia.
I have to look into it, but most of them so far that I studied, they just borrow from Wall Street using your name. Yes, sir.
Maybe the last question. We know that Riba has no kafara.
Yes.
Just for a tarheeb, what is the punishment يوم القيامة with Riba?
الربا من الفواحش يعني يكفي